Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another World of Warcraft video. As always, your host Papatello, bringing you some news and coverage. And in today's video, I'm going to be straight up with you. I'm not going to lie, we're doing some big investigation on something that I made the other day on my last video. It was about the Archon add-on. Now, I didn't go fully in-depth into it as much as I wanted to, but I actually really wanted to take a seat and look through some things and even go through their own Discord, and check out what's going on over there. Now, I'm not going to obviously, I'm not here to be any invasive person or anything like that. I'm not talking about all the details in the Discord. I'll give a small thing that I do want to mention in my video, but I just wanted to see what there was going on, give a general analysis and a summary. You guys can go to their Discord if you wish to see what it's all about. However, though, I want to talk about a couple things today, and then we'll talk about the damage reduction later on. But as always, we don't have our water bottle today, but we do have this. I don't know what this is right now from the Warlock Nation. They bought this with a couple copper and sent it in my mailbox. So let's give it a little sippage for the Hydration Nation and see if this belongs with the Poland of Springs. Oof. Of the copper kind. Definitely not from Poland. This is indeed a warlock drink. A soul lock drinks this with his fell hunter. Oh my days. This is not Poland Spring, amigos. This was 20 copper. I want every warlock on High Alert in Ogremar. And if you're any warlocks near the mage quarters in that little tavern, I want them all shot. Much love to you, though. Settle down. In Minecraft, of course. Get us a Poland Spring next time. And I know it's not from Poland. All the Europeans in the chat, it's not from Poland. Settle down right now. You'll get shot too. In Minecraft, YouTube family friendly. However, though, we're going to talk about this Archon add-on a little bit more in depth. Now, it seems like the other day I skimmed through reading the Alchemical Society Patreon members and how you actually have to be a Patreon member in order to get this add-on. And it's only currently available for SOD, and they're going to be expanding it into other WoW games and making it more widely available after some alpha testing. So I found out that after the alpha testing that the add-on itself is basically going to be free of charge, but the add-on right now is pay for. So you have to pay the add-on in order to get it, and you have to be a specific type of Patreon member in order to get it. And basically, it shows you what the add-on does. It shows you that you can see 8 out of 8 experience. You can see how many parses, or what's their highest parse. You can see how many specs they've played and what parses they got on other specs, and their current star rating and ranks in the world. You can even see it within game when you shift name click. You can see it in guild chat under a guild window by shift clicking. You can also see it by copying the WC URL and putting it and being a little bit more investigative with the individual's total stats and how they played the game. And I can understand, how it works by, since I do parsing myself, you normally just go to Warcraft logs and type in a person's name. So basically, this just makes it easy to get the direct URL. However, they show you with the installer, you can use the application to get the add-on, which therefore it, basically goes towards, the World of Warcraft Classic Eric folder. And then basically you can, see the data, you can extract the data, basically select the characters on the server, etc. And it's always up to date as well. So it's a pretty, the design of the add-on itself is pretty nifty. I'll give them that, right? I mean, as far as if this was a free add-on, which I still think would be taken down anyways in the long run, I give them credit for that part. But here's where things go sour. And here's where I am getting to the point where I got a little annoyed about this. I'm not going to lie to you, because I don't think this is good for the game, to be honest with you. And I don't usually let things annoy me, but I think something like this is not healthy for the game. And I'm going to take a stand on choosing a side this time around, because normally I don't. I usually like to play the middle ground and say, I see both sides of the perspective. But as a parser, I don't even like this add-on. I'm not a fan of it. I won't support it, and I'll tell you why. So, we go to the Patreon, right? And we go to archon.gg, and we can see that the Patreon itself, which I don't have issues with Patreon. A lot of people have Patreons like artists and Discords and creators. It shows you there are different plans. You can have $2 a month. You can have a $5 a month plan. You can have a $10 a month plan. But in order to get a part of their Alchemical Society, it's a $25 a month plan. That's $40 a month. That is $40 a month with paying for your WoW sub. If you're only doing $25 a month, just in general, right? You are paying $300 extra on top of the $15 a month that you're already doing for WoW a year for World of Warcraft, for Season of Discovery, for a game that's fucking 15 to 20 years old. You know, it's an old fucking game. You know what I'm saying? This is a little ridiculous. I don't agree with this payment here. Now, I understand why it's being supported, and they have their little inner circle in their Discord, which actually has a certain amount of players playing, and it shows you their number of Discord members. I think they have about 25,000 active people in their community, and I think it's about 17 or 18,000 I saw online in their Discord. So they have definitely a section of the community of World of Warcraft within there. Now, I went to the guild, the forums, you know, in Blizzard forums, and even there was a title here, and it seems like this is getting some publicity, this whole entire thread, about how this add-on violates the TOS. And this individual basically says it invades the TOS policies, it's against the first rule of the TOS of add-ons, so either update the TOS or rectify the situation, basically getting at Blizzard to fix this soon. Now, this individual right here, Lilith, basically said there isn't an Archon add-on. We'll read everything they said. We'll dissect it and go from there in a minute. So, but the data is being pulled using the free app. That is being distributed free of charge. It's not an add-on like most of us use. It's an application. That's the problem with the terminology I have right there. No different than running the CurseForge application to manage, browse, and download add-ons. These ads are built into that application, but the application itself is free to use. I fear you're confusing applications with add-ons, in the sense of how the rules may or may not apply to one or the other. Add-ons are governed rigidly. Applications, I can't say that I 100% know all the ins and outs, and I openly invite anyone to correct me or offer their knowledge here. They are not as rigidly ruled in that sense. The WCL companion app collects the data for players to use, verify folks, and to analyze the data. The majority of the features that use the data are available at no cost. There may be some additional tools on the website that can be accessed for a subscriber fee, but again, the application itself is available for free, even if it's supported by ads. So, if you think they're breaking the rules, you can go to Hacks at Blizzard, or you can go to the other URI link that they mentioned, wowui@blizzard.com, to see anything about this whole thread, or this, you know, argument, or, you know, whatever we want to fucking call this, the Archon add-on, in regards, and, you know, make some, you know, reports there, right? Now, here's the problem I have with their wording. That the Archon isn't an add-on, it's an application right here. It's an application. So it's not adding anything on, is what they're saying. Now, here's the thing. If I go to the game, we could show this right here to prove this, right? This is why I think their argument is wrong. This is no hate to that person. I'm just giving constructive analysis, and I am trying to basically inform anybody who thinks like this right here where the argument goes wrong. If I play Season of Discovery first time, no add-ons, everything's disabled, I will only see this as a guild member if I join a guild. If I go down here and then I shift-click a person's name in the guild and I see all of this, none of this is a part of the original design of the World of Warcraft game. None of this. So therefore, what is it doing to the game, ladies and gentlemen? What is it doing to the game? If I shift-click a person's name, do you normally see any of this? Do you see any of this? Their specs, their parses, their 8 out of 8s. No, you don't. Do I see any of this? Their ranks in the world, their current ranks, their star ratings, 1 out of 8s, etc. No. I don't see any of that. If they're a subscriber, none of that. No. So what does that tell you? That it is adding on to the game. You can't say that it's not adding on, even if it's not part of the add-on list in WoW, because it's an application running in the background. It's still in the. If we break it down like this, just because it's an application doesn't mean it's not applicatively doing anything to the game. It is applying something to the game that doesn't exist. That's not a part of the original design. So therefore, it is adding on to the game via application. It's still a fucking add-on. To say it's not an add-on, you have to be... I'm sorry, you're not thinking straight. You have to be an imbecile if you're not thinking. You're thinking incorrectly. It's an add-on. It's not a part of the original design. Now, you could basically say this, which is a good argument. Tello, what about guides like Rested XP? You have to pay for that. You are right. You're 100% correct. And even before I continue, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think any add-on should be in the fucking game. I think it is up to the core decisions and team of Blizzard to fix a proper UI, to come out with, good tools and tips to help the players during a raid, or, PvE or PvP, whatever notifications, or any cast bars. Like, they added a cast bar, I believe, inside. They had like a cast bar setting this time around that shows like the cast bar of something. Like, it's actually built within the game. So they added some settings, into the in their core game. But it's up to Blizzard at the end of the day to come out with their own fucking version of add-ons. It's them. It's their choice. They designed the game. So I love Bartender. I love using, other add-ons like Move Anything, advanced UI options, etc. Bagnon, great add-on. But I don't think any add-on should be in the fucking game. That's just the truth. That is the real truth of it, because it's up to the devs to fix that. Now, here's my argument as far as what's like, the worst of two evils, because that's usually a conversation people like to have. I don't even think Rested Guided XP is evil. It's a one-time thing. It's no difference from going to a GameStop and buying a strategy guide for a video game on how to go from levels, how to find little, nicks and cranks of the game, right? And Rested Guided XP is just a leveling add-on. It just shows you where to go from players who played the game, and know the best routes, and that's it. It's not practicing on any predatory things or saying that you're forced to buy the add-on or anything like that. No, it's a one-time thing and you're done. That's it. You don't need to do anything else. On the other hand, with Archon is a $25 a month, depending on how many months they go within it before the official release comes out. So maybe it's not a full year. Let's say it's 6 months, 5 months, right? You're still paying $25 a month on top of your WoW sub, and that's a lot of money, correct? Now, I know more people spend money on other things, but that's not the main example here. The main thing is that what does it do to the game is that it makes people investigate everybody's barrier of entry like we're at a fucking border crossing or a DMV. That's not how WoW's meant to be played. We're not supposed to inspect everybody's parse. Now, do we want to see if they're good players or not, if they know their classes? Yes, we could talk to the human being, like communicate, like we normally do within fucking an MMO. I think that's a normal thing to do. And ask them, like, hey, you know what you're doing? Have you done this raid before? And then they talk, We go off of people's words, and sometimes it's not trustworthy, but that's what we have to deal with. But the thing is that we've created such this culture within World of Warcraft where stuff like this is coming to rise, and it's creating toxic environments, massive divides, arguments on Twitter, on Reddit, on, in community, in Discords, forum posts, etc., all over the fucking place. And something like this is not healthy for the game. And it's a part, in fairness, against the TOS, that it creates disturbance within World of Warcraft. Something like this will, because there's already an issue with parsing in the SOD community, whether we like to admit it or not. I'm a parser myself, and I can fucking admit this. Now, I don't mind if Warcraft logs is a separate thing on a website and it does its own, thing. It's got its own shtick. Even though people don't like it or not, it's still optional. But to enforce an actual add-on to the game, that's where it's becoming a problem. We're not trying to turn this game into retail. Let this game just be fucking a game that is, has its old charm and people like enjoying it, and they do actual discovery-related things. And that's something separate to Blizzard, of course, right? But this is not healthy for the game. So I want to take you to the actual Blizzard add-on policy. Now, their Discord, by the way, I think if I mentioned earlier or if I didn't mention earlier, is 25,000 members, right? Now, if we look real quick before I go to the policy, right now, actively, there's 157,000 players playing Season of Discovery. This is what EU and US, and I think on an article the other day I saw 137,000. However, though, that's still a lot of players playing the game. And for those people that are saying, like, SOD's dying, SOD's dead, the game's not dead. It's just the phase is in a dry spot right now. I do have potential that Phase 4 will be pretty massive. I hope so, at least, for all our sakes, but I don't think the game is dead. But 25,000 players out of 157,000 is not a mass portion of the entire game, and that goes to show you that this is starting to infect a lot of people on how we're all discussing about this, and people are getting a bit annoyed about it, because this is not what World of Warcraft is all about at the end of the day. And I saw a person from my friend Izarath on Twitch, a good friend of mine. He's a rogue. One of his viewers said last night that, unfortunately, no matter what, parsing will always find its way to, get within a raid and the community will always find a way to, get involved in anything. Therefore, it's impossible to stop this toxic environment. And it is true. It's impossible to stop people wanting to be, just, fully on the meta, fully, parsed out, fucking going crazy, and I get that. But at least we could stop a portion of it, which is this fucking add-on, and try to mitigate something. Because there needs to be a stop sign at one point. There needs to be a line. And this is that line right now, and I am totally against it, and I will stand on what I say here. So, the add-ons must be free of charge. Whether we want to call this an application, like this person said, an application, right? They're saying it's an application right here. Whether we want to call this an application or an add-on, it needs to be free of charge, no matter what. So that's why it violates the main terms of service, no matter what. Now, even if there's an argument from their Discord and they say, oh, well, it's, it's not violating anything. It's just an application. It's going to go free after a while. Totally understandable. And, and this is their, our argument, then I'm going to be like, well, it's a poor argument, right? But also, number 2 is just like of a security measure too. Add-ons code must be completely visible, just in case there's any type of threat or something that this is actually going to cause possible legal problems, etc. So that's why they need to make that a thing. But number 3 is the biggest thing. Even if they passed 1, right? Even somehow, some way, Blizzard allowed, like it got past step 1. How are they going to get past step 3? Add-ons must not negatively impact WoW, realms, or other players. You are going to, by default, negatively impact everybody in the game. People are already negatively impacted by this. They already don't like this. So therefore, this add-on's not going to make it. And even if it does, I will be shocked if Blizzard doesn't address this. Because they already addressed things that were predatory in their ways, like GDKPs, and they've stopped that. And I'm actually happy they did that too, because I don't believe in GDKPs. I never liked them back in the day. I don't like them now. So I don't care about GDKPs. It's not my style of playing the game. I just like to play an MMO to play an MMO, and that's it. But as far as like how Archon is, like this can create tons of issues. As far as, like I mentioned, toxic environments, massive divide, and even potential cyberbullying, because people just yelling at each other that you're shit at your spec, you're garbage, calling them belittlement words, and that's not healthy for a person that's playing the game. They're paying $15 not to get belittled. They're paying $15 to enjoy the fucking game. So it's not healthy for them. I don't care what anybody says. There's no shot this goes through. And if a week goes by, I will be shocked. I will be shocked if Blizzard lets this pass. Now, I know they're in the trenches right now. They're not doing a lot of blue posts. They're really just, pushing out, like, the PvP damage reduction thing this week. That's about it, which it feels alright, but there's some problems with that too, right? But they're really in the trenches with Phase 4. But I'd be shocked if they don't address this sooner than later, and I can't wait to see what they say. And number 8, Blizzard Entertainment has the right to disable add-on functionality as it sees fits, which I think they will do in this case, in this scenario. Now, I genuinely think, after, going through the add-on itself, you can actually, like I said, go to the Discord and, get involved with them. I think their Discord is down here on a hyperlink, so you can check out the website and get involved and see what they're saying over there. But even on their own Discord, from what I've seen, and I'm not trying to, like, expose anything or anything like that. I'm just trying to tell the truth here, right? Which I guess, therefore, is a way of exposure. But, I mean, it is what it is, right? They're even talking about in there that the add-on, they're having, talks in their own Discord about whether this add-on violates TOS or not, and if they might get in trouble with it. So they have their own people in there going back and forth. It's up to you guys to let me know in the comments on what you think below, and see where your boy's coming from with this. Like I said, I stand on the side where I think this add-on should not be a thing. It should be totally fucking erased, and let's move on. Warcraft logs, keep your website, do your thing. Keep your Patreon for your community members. That's totally fine. Don't do this add-on. This is not an add-on that's healthy for any version of World of Warcraft, let alone SOD in general. Doesn't need to be there. We already have issues already with people, with how a lot of top guilds gatekeep people and not involve them in. Not saying my guild's a top guild by any means necessary. We try to, we're still, trying to get a second raid team. You know, it's been a struggle, but we're trying. You know, trying to keep active players involved within SOD. But the phase being, it's a little dried out right now, and it's just the truth. But hopefully, phase 4 is a bit of a banger. But that's a whole separate conversation. But in general, yeah, that's my stance on this. I want to know your guys' opinion on this, and let's go into the next subject right over here. So, PvP damage reduction test taking place this weekend. Healing reduction increased. So, it seems like the only one of the few blue posts that we got was last weekend's PvP play. It looked pretty good. So, we're going again, starting today with one adjustment. The weekend, or this weekend, we're increasing the healing reduction to 30%, which means it will stack with Mortal Strike to 65% healing protection for 10 seconds after taking damage. We'll turn the adjusted PvP aura on at 10 a.m. They already did this. The aura is on. It feels fine. I'm going to do more PvP tonight in my Paladin. Hello JTello TV, so come over there, swing on by. We're going to be, trying it out again. But I'm going to be honest, like, this whole, turning it off each weekend and then just going back to burst a whole another week is, not really it. I think, honestly, and this is something I'm very curious about, and I'm gonna question Blizzard on this one. Is anybody at the Blizzard team actually playing PvP? Besides getting community feedback, is anybody actually playing PvP? And if you are, what classes are you playing within PvP? And how do you think your class feels if there's any developers that come to my YouTube channel? Because I'm very curious. I want to know what you guys actually play in PvP. Because if you actually see what's going on in PvP, you would know what's happening, what individual class changes need to be adjusted. Now, I can't knock them because at the end of the day, I'm not going to hate on the dev team because, at the end of the day, it's not easy being a developer, especially if a SOD team is working on multiple projects. I'm willing to be like, you know what, dude, these people are getting fucking overworked and they're working their asses off. But if you want the truth, I'll tell you the truth. Right now in PvP, hunters are really fucking good. The range hunter buff from weeks ago, for the past fucking couple weeks, hunters have been at an all-time high. They're really fucking good, and I'm just being honest. Elemental shamans, we know this already, and this is not hating on classes. It's just talking the truth straight up. Shadow Priest still feel pretty fucking good as well. Boomkins, even right now, bro. We had a video the other day, and I don't have the clip here, unfortunately, but I think I was playing with a couple of my friends, and we were jumping this Boomkin, like 6v1. Couldn't kill him. And then we finally got him. So those are the classes I'm noticing that are shining the most from this, even with the aura on still. I think everything can be perfect once we get a little bit more adjustments with certain things. Hell, you can even look at Paladins, and if you want to hit them with a couple things that you feel like you need to. I'm not going to cry baby about it, but I'm just telling you the truth. I'm looking at this from as much best perspective as I can, and I think mages don't feel as amazing. You know what I mean? From what I've even seen from mages, they're saying that, yeah, like even with PvP right now, like if we get the one shots off or try to get the casting off, that's if we get the casting off. In a BG scenario, guys. Not talking 1v1s, just BG scenario. So in general, I just think overall, with a little adjustments here and there, everything will be perfect. In PvP, everybody will feel like a certain, like their class still feels good and no problems, and this aura can be in the right direction. So, once again, everybody in comments calm down, because I know how everybody gets butthurt when I start talking about classes. I'm not saying anybody deserves massive nerfs or massive buffs. I'm just saying little tweaks and adjustments to make it feel good overall for everybody. So, that's all I'm saying in the video. Guys and ladies, I appreciate you. My nose is itching again. I don't know what's going on. Every time I'm making a video lately, my nose is itching. Is there a fairy with a little feather tickling me? Get out of here. However, though, much love to you. I appreciate you, amigos, as always, coming to the videos, and hope you all enjoy the content. I just woke up after settled down. Not that type of video, but much love to you. I'll catch you on the next one, and as always, keep on keeping on. Let's try this one more time. Hold on a second. Editor, I want you to go down to Ogre, and I want you to let off a nuke, like Fallout. Nuke them all.